Jeff, you won't be the same for a year. He said, don't get in a hurry. He said the tissue should be healed in 4 months. He said after that, just make a slow pace, keep pressing, keep moving forward. I just didn't feel like I was where I wanted to be. And I think a lot of my issue was stability. And so I told my wife, I believe a lot of the exercises I was doing with you kind of helped the stability, but also kept it from getting tight. Because I felt like it was getting tighter and tighter. And then anything I did, it would pull the same, I could feel the surgical spot.
Stuff kind of moving.
Yeah. And it didn't like it. But, the one video you showed about moving your threshold of pain, I said, "All right, that makes sense, that I've gotta stretch it to make it grow so it can feel comfortable in normal work." A lab technician by trade. So I was a senior lab tech
Yeah.
in my own lab, but then I had to go out in the area and turn valves and all kinds of stuff now. So I work in industrial area now. Well, I could not turn overhead valves. My shoulder would not let me. And even if I did a couple turns, I was just exhausted. It just like it my arms was hanging.
Tapping out.
And then, let's say week before last, um, I turned the valve off and I thought, "Hold on, that didn't hurt. Okay, I see you." That's it's freed up, and now it's starting to get that strength side of it. So the soreness I have now is never while I'm lifting.
What improvements, like, overall have you noticed since, like, starting, like, the online rehab program?
Um, I think it was more confidence to press on. Um, I kept thinking, have a retort, have a retort, have a retort. And it was always in the back of my mind. And to the point, I think the paranoia kept me from pushing as much as I should.
Yeah.
Um, but I think never really addressing the nerve issue and my shoulder neck.
Yeah.
I think that opening that up for it to start to relax, because immediately the fatigue will go away in my shoulder. Like if I'm sitting there, I'm on my phone, I'm watching TV, and I'm just kind of sitting there, I'll feel like a sharp, just spot right there. I just kind of roll my shoulders back and just kind of stretch, and then okay, it just eases away. It's even if I feel any tension and I do the exercise, it always goes away.
What would you like what would you say to someone who's hesitant about trying, like, an online, like, format like this?
Oh, absolutely. Go for it. My wife and I talking about. I went several weeks to the guy post surgery and addressed none of the things that you addressed. It was, I hate to say it, very similar to in your video, the cookie cutter approach. I'm thinking that's exactly what we did. I mean, that's exactly what we did. Um, I mean, we would do laterals inside, and then I had the PVC pipe, which is really good to stretch it anyway. But
Yeah.
that was it. There was none of these other things.
One of the big things that we found on the assessment call was kind of like that burning. Can you walk me through, like, what you were experiencing, like, from the burning perspective and where you're kinda at now?
It was just burning right here in the area of the tear.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't really feel that burning anymore. I'll feel a soreness after a workout, or if I sleep on that side all night, if I sleep really hard, oh man. But then if once I stretch it around, then it just goes away. So that fatigue burning, I don't feel that. I don't feel the numbness in my hands. That's gone. Is the trauma in my shoulder was radiating up in my neck, making this side just harder to rock, pulling the tension.
Yeah.
I think the nerve glides really help with that. And I think also the net rotation